Host, please enable sharing.
Please check now.
Okay, thank you. Okay guys, so we are talking about Jdbc API here now. So what is Jdbc API? Anyone aware about it? What does it do? What's the purpose of this API? Or what is JDBC?
The database, right?
It's half information. It's half correct. It's about database. That's right. But it stands for Java Database Connection or Connectivity. Okay. J for Java, then database connection or connectivity, whatever you can call it. Okay. So this API will do what? It will help you to connect with database by writing some Java code. So that will be a mixture of SQL queries plus Java code. Okay. So before jumping over to the JDBC API, we will first of all see what exactly we will do through Java code. So before writing Java code, we need to understand the SQL queries. So anyone knows SQL queries? Maybe it's new for most of you. It, it stands for
Structural query language.
yeah, structured query language. It's a language which is used in database to uh, do multiple operations. That could be, you know, select or fetch data from DB.
Where
No, no, I'm not writing the code, don't
okay,
worry.
okay.
Just like telling you in a more generic way that what we're up to. That could be update data in DB. It could be delete data in DB. What else is left? Insert data in DB. So most of the time we are performing these four operations: selecting, updating, deleting, and inserting data. So we also call this some basic, CRUD operations or crude operations. People sometimes call CRUD, sometimes crude, whatever suits you, call it. So CRUD. C for create, R for read, U for update, D for delete. So this is something, guys, we will do till the end of this on all this session or till your training. You are doing in core Java, then we will start server JSP, there we will do this. Then we'll start Spring Framework, there we will do this. Then we start Spring Boot, again we will do this. So you cannot think about like this is just limited till core Java. So this is a wider scope and every project do the steps. I mean, think about it of any project. That project is doing all these four operations every time: creating, reading, updating, deleting. What else they are doing? Nothing. Every project is revolving around these four steps. Of course, there are multiple steps, but these are some basic four operations which every project will do. So you should master in that how to perform these four operations in your database by using multiple APIs or multiple frameworks. Okay, so I told you that what is structured query language. It is helpful to do four operations. And before jumping over to Java, we need to understand how we can write these SQL queries. So they have a proper syntax or way. So we'll see that by using MySQL Workbench. So I'm expecting this should be in your system because I've told you in our initial class that we are going to use some basic softwares and this is part of it. So that's how it looks like. If you're sure, want to know which version, it's 8.0 version, 8.0.15. Okay, it is compatible with Java 14. It will work. Now, once you have this, open this local instance mysql 80, and this will show you multiple databases. Okay, so all these are databases. So what we are going to do, we will create our own database. How to do that? Let's understand how to use this tool or this software, this mysql workbench, how it works. Then we'll move to coding side. So whatever we are going to do from here, same thing we will replicate through coding. But let's start with some simple steps. So first step is, once you are in mysql workbench, you need to create a database. How to do that? Right click on any empty space, and then you will get an option create schema. Okay, any empty space, right click and then create schema. Okay, so schema is equivalent to database. Okay, schema is a more technical word which is used in databases. Okay, then it will ask new schema, so we can rename it. So I'm going to call it batch 13 db. That's batch 13 for me. That's it. And then once you're done with the name, go for apply button. Okay, and this sort of query gets triggered: create schema this, and then apply. We don't need to worry about that, we will see that later. Apply and execute statements. Done. You can see there's a tick and it is successful. Apply to the database. Okay, and then finish. Done. Thing is, I don't know it's a bug or what is a feature, but this box won't get closed, so you have to manually close it. Okay, and if you see, there's a database, and if you expand, we have tables, views, procedures, functions. Good thing is, right now we don't need to worry about these. They are for standard purpose, or for, you can say, advanced part of it. For now we'll check about tables. So right now it's empty. Even if you click or right click and refresh all, still it's empty.
No, Chelsea. After Majo.
Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, now once we are with this setting, we can go for tables. So right click on tables, then we have option create table, and then you can create some tables here. So then you have to give a name, and a name will work here. So let's say book table. Okay, book underscore tb. So I'm just writing underscore tb, kind of a standard way. Okay, so table name is done. After creating table, you need to add some columns there. So there it is. If you go at bottom, we have a column name and data type. Like, what's a data type? Think about when it comes to um, paint. When it comes to Java, so we need to say int age equals to 10. Or if we have to create a name, so we go for string name equals to Ram. Right. So what we have here, we have a variable. We have two variables, age and name. Age is of int type, name is of string type. So what we are doing, we are creating variables here. Something similar we have to do on database. We have to create column name. So first column name I will give ID, and what will be its type? Int type. Okay, and it's going to be primary key, so I'll check this box, pk for primary key here, and n for not null. You can hover the mouse, you can see the option, I mean what it says. So it belongs to primary key, and for not null, uq for unique key, then boolean, unknown or unsigned, then auto incremental, and then generator column. So I'll suggest one homework for you guys: go over and check out keys in DB. Okay, so we have lots of keys. Check them out and have some basic understanding what these queries are and how SQL works. Okay, we are done with one column. Let's add one more column. Let's say we already in a book on book table, so don't write book name. Name will work, right? Because we know we are inside book table, so definitely we are talking about name of the book. And now notice the type. Its data type is varchar. So in Java we have a string. In database we have a varchar type. Okay, varchar is equivalent to string. Okay, so that's one more data type. Okay, if and you can see 45 it's limit, the characters limit. You cannot go beyond of it. If you do this, you will get an exception from database as well. Okay, and let's add one more column, price, and that could be int type. So check out how many types of we are having in database. If you click on drop down, you will see these are the possible types in database. So again, I'll pick int type for price. Done. And yeah, we are good to go. So we have three columns. Table name is book table, ID, name, price, and click on apply. So this is the query which is triggered by MySQL Workbench. Create table, table name, int ID not null, name varchar not it could be null, price int null, and primary key is ID because we have given PK checked. So that means we are talking about create a primary key. So maybe most of you don't know what is primary key. That's why I'm giving you this homework. These are some keys which are really critical and you should know. Every developer, doesn't matter you are new or experienced, everyone should know what is the SQL query and what are the types of it and how to write, what are the keys there. It is mandatory to have. It is not optional, guys. If you are a backend developer or full stack developer or front developer, doesn't mean that you do should not. It is mandatory to have. So you should know. Okay, done with the table. Now if you expand it, we have a book table there. So right click and right click on the table name and click select rows. So you can see this query gets triggered and we have an empty table. So just for the sake of our understanding of SQL queries, let's add some data. So randomly I'm giving some data. Let's random some, let's say core Java. Let's make some info information. Okay, let's expand it. Okay, let's fill some data. So let's 318 Spring. Okay, so I've inserted 5 records, and then once you're done with the records, make sure you're again clicking apply button. Apply, you have to click again, and you can see this is the query which gets triggered by MySQL Workbench. So apply, finish, refresh, so it's persisted. And if I close this whole structure and right click and select rows again, you can see we have record now. We have 5 records there. Okay, this is also done. Now, once we have record, so what we have done so far, we have created the DB, then we have created the table, then we have inserted the records in the table, right? Now let's update the table. So what we can do, we can update table as well. Like we have 5 existing record. I want to complete this. It's just not Spring. I will say Spring framework. Okay. Once it's done, just click anywhere or maybe on other rows. So it apply button gets highlighted and click apply button. Now you will see there's an option. I mean that's a query gets triggered by workbench update query. Apply and finish. So if I refresh or if I close, right click on table and select rows, value is persisted. So what we did now, we have updated the record in table. Right now, let me add some random record so I can do one more operation. Apply, finish. Okay. Now next operation we can do delete. Right. So we can do. Even before that we have list all records in the table. After inserting, we can also list all the records. Now if I want to delete, so what you have to do, just select that row from here, right click, and then you have option delete rows. Again, right click on this bar which is empty, right click, delete rows, and then it's gone. Make sure you are again clicking this apply button, only then that record will permanently got removed. So if I apply click, then you can see delete from this table, and apply, finish. And if you refresh or if you close this to check whether record is written or not, we can also do that. So close, select rows, sixth record is gone from here. So we have seen deleting the record from the table. So guys, we have done these 5-6 operations by using what? MySQL workbench. Any question on this? What I did? Anyone who didn't get it? Maybe I did quite fast. Anything? So by using that tool, we have done some basic operations on database. So creating database, then creating table inside it, then inserting record, then listing them, then updating record, and then deleting as well. So we are done with that. What about SQL queries? So let's try these SQL queries right here. Okay, so we are going to perform some basic SQL queries. Even before that, we need to understand the types of SQL queries. Okay, we have some types of SQL queries. Anyone aware about these SQL queries? Types of SQL queries? No one? No worries. Let's learn it then. So I'll save some time. Go over web. There's a very decent site, WC School, for who are completely new. Okay, so you can refer this site, guys. This is really good. And later, but before that, SQL queries types images. Okay, so I'm saving some time, and here are the types of queries. So you can see we have DTL, we have DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. So figure out the full form of all 5 for me tomorrow. Okay, check out what these are. Okay, so we have multiple types or commands basically, which are really required. You guys should know. So this is about database. Mostly it is for DBA, database administrator. Like we are developer, so there's a different role in IT which says database administrator, who will do all these operations for most of the big thing. But for basic stuffs we should do. So check out the full form and already giving you the types. So DDL queries are create, drop, alter, truncate. DML queries. So our target would be DML queries. It stands for data manipulation language. Okay. So there we have already seen insert, we have seen update, we have seen delete. And one query is DQL, data query language, which is select. So let me highlight them, this, and this. Okay, so we are going to perform, or we have performed already these 4 basic operations: insert, update, delete, and select. So same queries will be triggered by using Java language. So we should be aware about this query, or how to write these SQL queries. Okay, so what is SOL? It's SQL. Let me fix it. SQL command. Okay, this is done. Good. So we have types of queries with us and we know what queries we have to pick for our task. So we are basically talking about all the DML queries and one DQL query. How to write these queries? Let's understand it. So anyone who knows these SQL queries, how to type them, or everyone is new here? Except one voice I heard who knows the full form and maybe the queries as well. So that means 10 people don't know how to write SQL queries. So that's fine.
I
Let's.
know a little bit.
Okay, yeah, fine, fine.
I have
Okay,
idea.
no, that's fine. We are even going to perform basic queries, not advanced way. Simplest queries we are going to start with. So first requirement is I want to write or fetch select all records. Okay, okay. This is what I want. I want to fetch all queries from database. So what you have to write? Select star from what's the table name?
Book
Book, right? Book
in yeah
underscore
the
tb. So once you're done with that, why is not commenting? I forgot how to comment this out. Uh, Sorry guys, I forgot how to comment. Anyways, so this query, let's move
hashtag
this hashtag. Thank you very much. Yep. So select star from book table. So this will fetch all the records from database. So if you have to execute this, just put your cursor there and there's a lightning bolt icon. Okay, execute. So you have to click on this icon and you can see. Okay, because our database is not selected. So let's double click on it. Now it is selected. Now execute again and we have records. You can see your query's status as well. When I executed earlier without selecting database, after clicking double click, it was solved. What it says, table management, because that was a earlier table database selected. Now we are getting our records. It says 5 rows returned, so 5 records here. So that's how we can fetch all records. What about if I want a particular record? Select record with
oh,
ID, let's say 5. So we need to say select asterisk from again book tb. Now we have to write where condition, where id equals to 5, and that's it. And if I execute this query, you can see we are getting record with id 5. Likewise, see, it's like a plain English language. We are clearly saying it. Read this star as all. So it says select all columns from book table where id is 5. Just fetch the all records or fetch all columns for id 5. Likewise, I can say where price equals to 500 or whatever. So let's say where price equals to 1000. I want to fetch that record whose price is 500. So this time I'll say where price equals to 1000. Just basic English language we are using in SQL, and that's why it makes it simple. So if I execute this query, it fetches that record whose price is 1000. There it is. These are some select queries. Okay. Now what I want to fetch only one column whose ID is 5. Okay. Select only book name where ID equals to 5. So how to do that? Simple. Instead of writing star, because star says all columns, let me comment it as well. Here asterisk means all columns. Okay, so instead of saying star or asterisk, we call it name. and then condition is id equals to 5, and if I execute this query, we'll get Spring Boot, right? Just that column, Spring Boot, because we have mentioned only get me the book name. So is it clear to everyone, guys, what we just did here? Okay, that means everything is clear. Fine. Now if I want to write a SQL query by okay, I want to add one record. Okay, we already have 5 records. Let's insert one more entry. Okay, so requirement is insert into, no, insert we already have, insert 6th record for, let's say, MySQL. Okay, book. So how to do that? We'll say insert, this is the query for inserting, insert into book underscore table, then you need to say values, then bracket. So how many columns we have? 3 columns, id, name, price. So let's mention that as well. So id, name, price. Then accordingly we have to give id is 6, comma, name is MySQL, price is, let's say, 3500, and then semicolon. That's it. So we have written or said that insert into that book where column id, name and price are there, and the value for id is 6, value for name is MySQL, and value for price is 3500. And then again put your cursor there and execute. And if you notice, we are getting a error, unknown column MySQL in field list. Why? Oh, okay, so we are getting an error. Why is that? Because the type for name is string type, and how we are giving it in open. id and prices are okay because they are of integer type, but name is of varchar or string type, so we have to wrap it within single quotes. That's how it works in MySQL. Okay, we got the error by the way when we executed the earlier code. It says unknown column MySQL in field list. It failed to understand because as per the structure of our table, it is of string type, but we are giving kind of a something else. Okay, now let's try again. So put your cursor there and click this icon, and yes, we have a successful record. You can see what it says, insert into book is 1 row affected. How much time it took? I mean, it's not even nanoseconds, it was quite fast. Okay, so how to confirm whether record is inserted or not? Again, we will execute this query, select star from table, so it will list out all the records with all the columns. So what it says, show all records with all columns. Okay, so we have to execute this, put the cursor and execute. What executed?
Selected.
Okay, we need to highlight then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. Then we're getting all 6 records, 3500. That's our 6th record insert. Okay, so we are able to successfully insert a record. Fine. Now requirement is that I want to update record. Update 6 record for MySQL book. I'll leave this out. Update 6 record and modify name from MySQL to MySQL database. Okay, I just want to change the name. So what will be the query? Let's see. So I have already given the query that update 6th record. That means there should be a where condition or where clause. Okay, we call this clause. clause. Okay, where clause we have. Likewise, we have multiple clauses in database. Just have some space, minimize this, not that much. Yeah, this is fine. Scrolled, go down. Okay, so what will be the query? Let's see. Update, then table name, book underscore table, then set. Then you have to give the column query column name here. So column name is name. I already given it. That modify which column? Name column. So set name equals to mysql db. What's the condition? We have to use where clause. Where id equals to 6 semicolon. And then be in practice that highlight, because right now when cursor is here, there's no other query down of it. So that's why it can execute. If I execute this query, so MySQL treat this all thing there. So it get confused which query. So if you are selecting any query here, so better highlight. If you are at the end, just put your cursor there, that query will execute. Okay, so if you notice, duplicate entry, sorry, my bad. We already have 6 record, why? Just a second. Update book set name where id equals to 6. So yeah, what's wrong with that? So highlight and update now. Okay, so it says update query is successful. It says one row affected, matched one, changed one. But here query is successful. How to verify? Again, highlight and execute. So you can see now it becomes MySQL DB. And for testing, and setting some record, apply the next query for testing. Now last thing is remaining, deletion. How to delete records? So delete 7th record. Okay, so query would be delete from book db where, again we have to give a where clause equals to 7, and then we are done. Delete from book table where id equals to 7. Highlight, and this record should be gone. Execute, and you can see when we execute delete query, it says one row affected. Okay, so let's see all records. Execute, and yep, 7th record is gone. So guys, that's how we write SQL queries. If you are new, so definitely you might be wondering what just happened. So I'll suggest better create your own tables, think about some operations and perform these operations. It will help you in future. As I said, it is mandatory to have. You cannot skip it, that if I'll skip these queries, I'll be good. No. As a developer, you should know. I didn't mention front end, back end. Which technology, it doesn't matter even you are learning Java, PHP, C Sharp, Angular. Angular is a different case. But still, even if you're learning any front-end technology, you should know how to write SQL queries. It is meant to have. Okay, so I already mentioned these are some queries, and if you want some guidance from where you can refer, so as I said, this site is really good. SQL this W3 schools. There you can see all the queries which I have given. So if you need to like know what exactly you can practice, so I suggest you from here. So you can go for SQL intro, syntax, select, distinct, where, order by, and or not, insert, then update, delete, select top, min, max, count, sum, average, like. Then between, no, in is also required, in between alias. Yeah. If you do this one, that means that will cover some basic area for you guys. Okay, what basically you should know about SQL queries. So all these yellow sections you should know.
Isn't join very important too? Because I think a lot of interview questions come from the join, I guess, no?
Yes, as I said, this will cover a basic ground for you. All these yellow boxes are basic query and everyone should be aware. And if you go further, so definitely for entry purpose, you should know, as you mentioned, joins, nested queries, okay, then procedures, functions, triggers. See, these are some part of advanced part, you can say. Topics in, I'll say database, making more generic because it's not about MySQL. It could be for Oracle, for Postgre, or any other database you're using. So there are some advanced topic which you should aware, and plus from here you can see that's it. Once you are done with joins, then some more types of queries: stored procedures, operators, how to create database, then primary keys, foreign keys, how to put auto increment. Then yeah, one more thing I missed: views and data types. If you click, we have a multiple data types like char, varchar, binary, whatever we saw that in the drop down. So that is listed here. Then numeric data types. So all these queries types which we saw earlier in MySQL workbench, they are listed here. So every database has a slight changes, but mostly MySQL and Oracle have the same database type. So yeah, start with these queries. First of all, the yellow boxes, and when you're done with that, you can try for these ones. But yellow first, then this brown color. Okay, so that's it for MySQL workbench. So whatever we did so far, it was done here. Okay, so that was good. Now how to do the same from Java, right? Because this is not the goal. This is for database guys who are practicing database and wants to be DBA. But we are looking for programming language, the Java programming language. So how to trigger all these queries? Okay, these queries: select, insert, update, delete. How to trigger these queries from MySQL? Oh, sorry, my the Java language. So for that we are going to use Jdbc API. Fine. So let's see that. So opening the project, expanding src. Let's create new package. So right click on src, then new package. I'll this time say com.mysql.jdbc pack. Okay, that's our package name. I forgot. This is standard com.pack, and then we are giving jdbc API. Finish. So this is our package, and then once the package, we should be doing one more thing when we're going for database API. So okay, so JDBC API steps. I'll write those complete steps later tomorrow. Today I'll just giving some time to practice all SQL queries because nobody's speaking. Maybe they are really good in SQL, so they don't want to speak. So when you say steps for this, steps for performing DB operations from Java code. Okay, so first thing you need to do, you have to add a library. Okay, so first you have to do add MySQL what's it called, jar or library, both are same for now. Okay, so you need to add jar file or library in Java project. Okay, so how to do that? So you need to search for it on web, get that MySQL jar file and attach to the eclipse. Okay, that we will do today. Tomorrow we will write code for performing the same database operation what we written here, like select, insert, update, delete. Today we'll just see how where to get jar file and how to add the jar file in our project. Okay, so going on web again, and what you have to type, mysql jar, then write maven. Go for all, and you will see this site, guys, maven repository. Okay, this is one of the legit site and one of the biggest. It's huge, okay, in terms of service providing. So you need to go for this maven repository. In future we are going to use this maven tool, but for now we will use this site for downloading jar file. So open this jar file, this site, and it will list out all the versions so far released. Okay, if you see, MySQL started with 2.0.14 when it was released 2015. Okay, a standard release you can see, and then nowadays it's 8th version in the market. So this is one of the biggest, as I said, repository or storage area where you can get every single possible libraries. And you can see even left side it gives you the popular categories, which libraries oftenly downloaded or used from this site. So testing framework and tools, the Android packages, login frameworks, then Java specifications. So these are some categories, but it's enormous. Okay, it has a huge library and one of the widely used site to download jar files. Okay, so let's go for a specific version. So I'm going to pick 8.0.16. When it was released, 2019. So that was a time where Java 8 and 14 was not 14. Java 8 was in the market, or like a stable release was version of it was released. So I'll pick this version. Click on the version number, and it will take you on this page. MySQL connector 8.0.16. Some information you can get, but for now we have to focus on here files. And you can see we have a jar of 2.2 MB. Yep, that's it. From here we will get the jar file. Click on this and this jar file will get downloaded. Sometimes the browser will pop you that maybe you are downloading a wrong file. Maybe it's a correct file because it's in jar format. So Windows it fails to attempt what the type is. So it treats it as a bug or some kind of um, malicious file. So don't worry about that. As I said, it's a legit site, so it will work. So I already have this jar file in my system, so I don't need to download again. So if I'll show you softwares, then jars, that's already there. That is okay. So that is MySQL connector Java 8.0.16. So and you can see that size, it's almost 2.2 MB. Okay, so you just have to place it somewhere in your directory once you download it from Maven site. Okay, now how to add it. So once you are downloading this, so download it from, I'll paste that URL as well. Okay, now attach it to Eclipse project. Okay, so Eclipse workbench, right click on your project name. Okay, follow guys. Okay, if you're doing something else, come back to screen. So right click on your project, properties, then go for build path, then there's a tab libraries, go there, and you can see JRE or Java version 1.8 is mentioned here. Okay, fine. And on right side we have this external jars, add external jars, and then that folder where you have this whole stuff jar, and there it is, MySQL connector 8.16. Select this, open, there it is. Now we have two libraries for our project. One is by default Java, and then we have added a external jar file. Then apply and close, and if you notice our project structure is changed now. If you expand, now we have JRE, SRC, and one more categories, referenced libraries. And if you expand, there you can see a jar file is there. What's the location? E drive and jars folder. That's it, guys. That's how you should add your jar file in project. So that's it for today. I just want to give you some time to absorb all this new information if you're new to it, and how to add jar file and where to get jar file. Tomorrow we will write Java code to perform all SQL queries or operation we have seen so far in mysql workbench. So tomorrow we will replicate it through Java code by using Eclipse or Java coding. Any questions so far? Any doubt? What we did? What we are up to tomorrow? Okay, so fine, guys. So that's for today, and continue with Shivam. And still something left. Let's discuss it tomorrow. Bye bye, guys. Have a good night.